Okay, guys, here's the last page, so page 4 of the Unit 4 review packet. Number 30 is which cheerleader's hands are farther apart? Justify your response. Well, theoretically, this girl's arm here and here should be the same, and we're going to say that her arm here and here should be the same. So since her arms are wider apart, or since there's a larger angle here, her hands will be farther apart. So we're going to say cheerleader B. Because, and I'm just going to say for now the hinge theorem. I should have said the hinge theorem. But because because there's a bigger angle between her arms should be farther apart. Open your arms up farther, they'll be farther apart. Okay, what is the possible values for x? Well, is this side, and this side is the same as this side. Okay? Since 18 is longer than 16, that means this angle must be more open than this is. Well, this represents 90, so we can say that 90 has to be bigger than 4x minus 8. Well, I'm going to add 8 over to this side. Yep, okay, and sorry, then I'm going to divide both sides by 4. When I do that, I'm going to get, I believe it's just 24.5. That should be, yep, that sounds good to me. Okay, but here's the other thing. We also need to make sure that this angle isn't 0. Like, for instance, if I plugged in 0, 0 minus 8 is negative 8. That doesn't make sense. So I have to make sure that my angle is larger than 0. So that's going to give me 4x is bigger than 8. So x is bigger than 2. So in order to make sure that this angle is bigger than this angle, and that this angle exists, it's bigger than 0, x has to be larger than 2, but less than 24.5. Okay, number 33. If line KF is the perpendicular bisector, well, if it's a perpendicular bisector, it means any point on this should be the same distance from this end as from this endpoint. But it says if it's the perpendicular bisector of GH, find x and HK. Okay, so this has to be the same distance from G as it is from H. That's our theorem. So that means that 40 is going to be the same as 3x plus 7. So I'm going to subtract 7 on both sides and divide by 3, and I'll get that x is 11. We also have to find HK. Well, remember, if GK is 40, this has to be 40 as well. Okay, number 34 for x. Well, we don't know yet that this is an angle bisector, but what we do know is that this point on this line is the same distance from this side as it is from this side. Well, if these are going to be the same, that means the angle they're going to create is going to be the same. Well, it's the converse of the angle bisector theorem. So 3x equals 54. Remember, if at any point you have questions, remember we're listing the skill, so you can go back and look at your notes on this as well. So that means that x is going to be, I'm going to go with 18. Okay, 35. What is the length of MN? Well, if this is a perpendicular bisector again, we know that this is getting cut in half at a 90-degree angle by this. That means this one here should be the same distance from N as it is from 6x minus 1 equals 3x plus 8. I'm going to subtract 3x on this side. I'm going to add 1 to this side. So there's x, but remember we're solving for the length of MN. Well, MN is 1. That's the same as 6 times 3 because we know x is 3 minus 1. So MN is going to be 17. Okay, we're getting close. What is the length of OP? Well, this is an angle bisector problem. We know that this angle is getting cut in half by this ray right here, which means the distance from O to this side of the angle is the same as O to this side of the angle. So we can say that 6x equals 3x plus 12. That's going to be on this side if I subtract the 3x over. I'm going to divide both sides by 3, but we really want to figure out the length of OP. And OP is 3x plus 12. I'm substituting x4 in for x, and I get that OP has a length of 24. Okay, we're getting close. If point X is on the perpendicular bisector of segment ST, so X is on the perpendicular bisector of ST, that means if I were to draw the perpendicular bisector, this would be a 90-degree angle, and it would cut this in half. Then what of the following is true? Well, we know if you're on the perpendicular bisector, you're the same distance from both of these endpoints. That means that SX, or XS, is the same length as XT. They're going to be equal. Okay, number 38. The monkey bars are located midway between the slide and the tether ball. Which of the following are about equidistant from the slide and the tether ball? So we're just looking for what would be on the perpendicular bisector. Well, if I approximate the perpendicular bisector, you'll notice that the 4 square would be on that. So the 4 square, since it's on the perpendicular, would be the same distance from the slide as it is from the tether ball. And I'll draw that in as well so you can see it. Okay, so that's the end of this page. Hope this was helpful, and we'll see you guys in for your test on Monday or Tuesday.